Hey guys, so it's Kia, and here's the video on roommates that I promised because it definitely needs to get done. Okay, so my school has this app, they're part of this app on Facebook called Room Sync, meaning that you can find a roommate that matches your personality and interests on Facebook so you guys will get along when you get here. I'm not 100% sure if I would advocate for that app. I mean, I met somebody who's really nice, but it seemed like we have a lot more in common when we were talking on Facebook than we actually do in real life. And on top of that, I live in a triple. So it's me, the girl that I met, and another girl. And, we didn't get to meet this other girl through Room Sync, so we had no clue who she would be about. But she's really cool. So when it comes down to roommates, I just say try to be civil. That's probably the best advice I can give. Because you and your roommates don't have to be best friends, but just coexist because you guys kind of have to live together. Unless the school has a policy about changing roommates, then, I guess you can get out of it. Um, Me and one of my roommates, the one that I didn't meet, we actually get along pretty well. Like, she's kind of my best friend on campus. So, that's one of the greatest things. Your roommates don't have to be your best friends. I just happen to look up and get my roommates to be my best friend. When you're living with other people, you also have to be really considerate. So constantly having the light on when they're trying to sleep is a no go. Um, Having really bright computer screens. Basically, don't do anything that might disrupt their sleep, especially if they have an early morning class. My roommate, they both have 8 a.m. classes, so I generally try to be considerate of their needs when it comes down to keeping everything down in the room. When it comes to having company in the room, you have roommates. You should probably talk to your roommates about that. What's okay and what's not okay. Now I don't have a whole lot of company come to the room because I'm not a very sociable person. But my roommate has one of her friends comes to the room all the time, and I don't mind because he's a really cool person too. And the my other roommate, only reason I'm not using names is because they're not here, so that's kind of mean. My other roommate, she brings a lot of company over. I mean, it's generally the same people, but the quantity of people she has coming to the room happens to be a lot larger than my other roommates. So, sometimes it's bothering, but it's not so bothering that it can cause issues, if that makes any sense. What else is there to say about roommates? Roommates will have your back. I, that's probably something I could say. If you guys living together and you guys happen to coexist very well, then your roommates will probably be having your back. I was sick. I'm still kind of sick now. You can probably hear it in my voice, but I was terribly sick last week, and it got to the point where I was having fainting spells. I would almost faint, and I didn't tell them anything because I didn't want to bother them because I'm so used to suffering in silence. And the issue is that they aren't home for days at a time. So that being the case, I could have passed out, fallen unconscious. They wouldn't have came back for about 4 days, and I probably would have been gone. And they were so polite to remind me of that. I love my roommates. Well, I love my roommate, and I like my other one. Probably gonna have something to talk about when this video goes up. But it is what it is. Try not to be passive aggressive with your roommates. I spent the better part of the beginning of the semester trying to be, sensitive to everybody's feelings and being passive aggressive and, not saying what was really on my mind. But that's not saying what's on my mind. And I started feeling really good because, you know, we're all supposed to be grown ups and grown ups say grown up things. So if what you're doing is bothering me, I'm gonna say something, and you guys should say something too. They'll just sit down and kind of stew in it because then it causes more problems later. We actually had to go to the RD because we were going at it so bad. I was ready to leave, but I got here first because I was here like a whole week before one of my roommates were, so I wasn't leaving. But now we're cool. Yeah, now we're cool. And I think that's the most I can say about roommates right now. Just try to coexist, because if you don't, it's gonna be a very miserable 9 months or however long you choose to stay roommates with that person. So I'm gonna sign off, think of more things to talk about, and I will be back later. Bye, guys.